What's up guys, this is the Canon R3 and these are the reasons why as a photographer and a videographer I am totally pumped. Now if you're anything like me and your creative work isn't just focused on photography or video production, there's a ton of reasons why you should be keeping your eye out for the upcoming Canon R3. We've been getting little details here and there about what specs we can expect out of Canon's new mirrorless flagship, and by the looks of it, it's going to turn out to be a bit of a hybrid beast. Now you could almost consider this camera to be the mirrorless equivalent of the 1DX Mark III. It's got basically the same design as the 1DX series cameras with the larger grip. It can shoot at up to 30 frames per second in electronic shutter and has a slightly larger resolution than the 1DX series at 24 megapixels. Now this last spec in particular is the one that's got me really excited about what this camera can offer as far as photography and video. I've been shooting with the R6 for a while now, using this at the moment actually, and I've never really found the resolution to be wanting too much. Given most of my work is in weddings and portraits and content creation for small businesses, mostly with a focus on social media, I've never really found myself needing more resolution than the R6. I realize I'm a specific use case and I don't really speak for all photographers. Obviously there's people who might need more resolution, such as people doing publication or large prints, but the R5 is more than capable for basically any of that. Now while the R5 is a phenomenal tool for video, I know I'm not alone in thinking that the 8K RAW is just totally overkill. The file sizes are massive, you're stuck at shooting just up to 30p, and obviously the elephant in the room, overheating. And also, unless you've got a totally beast setup or you're using proxies, you're not going to be able to edit these files. So this is where the R3 comes in, and this is why I think it's going to deal with a lot of these issues. With a 24 megapixel sensor, we'll be getting video that's just a bit shy of 6K resolution, which basically means that we'll be getting video that's half the file size of 8K footage for the same frame rate. This also means that the R3 is going to be able to pack internal RAW video at up to 60p, similar to the 1DX3 with its 5.5K RAW video. I'm also prepared to bet that we'll be getting the same non-RAW video formats that we've seen in the R5, such as oversampled 4K at 10-bit 422. Unlike the 1DX3 though, we'll probably be getting full autofocus in RAW shooting, as well as image stabilization. Canon's shown they're capable of doing this with the R5's 8K RAW recording, unless they intentionally cripple it, which honestly isn't outside the realm of possibility for Canon. If it does follow in the footsteps of its DSLR counterpart though, we won't be seeing any overheating issues with the RAW video. For all these video features, we know that this camera is going to pack some serious power, and I think that's going to show in the photography side as well. We've already heard news that this camera saw a fair bit of use at the Tokyo Olympics, and that makes sense. It's built around the same principles as the 1DX series, and that is for sports and action photography. One of the issues plaguing the R5 from the perspective of a sports shooter is the EVF blackout shooting in burst mode. Now for most people you're not going to notice this problem, but for professionals who need to keep track of like fast moving objects or athletes, it's a serious issue. Now the R3 is looking to fix this problem by putting in a stacked sensor. I won't get into the nitty-gritty details of it, but it basically means that the sensor readout time is going to be faster, which reduces the amount of time needed to process the image and then display it on the EVF. This also adds the benefit of having basically a global shutter speed readout, which is a point in the column for photographers and videographers alike. Finally, one of the coolest little accessories for the R3 was announced just a couple of days ago, and that's the Tascam XLR audio adapter. It's going to allow XLR audio input to interface with the camera through the new hot shoe design, which basically allows for higher data transfers and also power delivery. The lack of XLR audio inputs on Canon's non-cinema cameras has always been a bit of a sore spot, so it's a really welcome addition. So that about wraps it up guys. Let me know in the comments below what you're excited for in this camera, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!